Okay.
I'm gonna clap like right after you, so like you.
Nah,
don't know.
see, fuck, man.
All right, dude.
God damn it. There. All right, that should help a lot. Son of a bitch. Oh man, and here we are. Here it is. Welcome everybody. Thank you so much for tuning in. This is Nothing Special Podcast, episode 46. You're here, so are we. As always, your boy Pedro Sanchez is here.
I was like, what's that pause? Franky in the flesh.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. As always, I'm fuck me. Why am I saying as always?
I don't
Why'd
know.
I just touch your hand?
Ooh.
Frankie joining me, co-host.
Yes, I am here.
You know what it is. You know why you're here.
Do you ever see
Nothing
yourself doing an
special.
episode without me?
No.
Like if
don't.
let's say I got sick, like I was like, I can't make it.
There's
I'm out of town for 3 weeks.
There's some podcasts where it's like a duo and there's two hosts, like how we do it, and there are times where one of the hosts will be gone, like they'll be sick or something, so one of them has to pick up the slack and they'll just host the show on their own.
It's just
I would never be able to fucking do that.
it's too
There's no
like
way.
I don't know
No
how
way.
you like do your own like monologue or whatever for like an hour and a half.
Yeah, with as much research as we already do on our stories. What the fuck am I gonna like?
What are you gonna bounce off of? Like, yeah.
What the hell?
That's what I
am
always
gonna
think
talk
about because like I know I've heard some like you said where like so and so and so and so are gone, so it's just me holding down the fort.
Yeah,
you know,
or like usually like they'll talk like the one co-host who's left will talk to like their camera guy who's off, who's like
I'll
off
just
screen.
pretend like there's some
yeah,
guy
yeah, camera guy who's like off screen. Like we don't have one, just have our fucking like tripod. But
they do that or they bring in like somebody random.
Yeah, they bring in somebody as like super random. Maybe I can do that one special I was talking to you about that you don't want to do.
Oh yeah, you could probably do that.
I could probably do that. I won't do that though.
You could do it. There could be a bonus episode there.
Oh God, yeah, that could be. Yeah, that could be. But
anyway,
again,
well, I don't know why we did that.
I don't know why.
Would you ever leave me?
you ever have those dreams? But yes, everybody, thank you so much for tuning in. Thank you everybody for watching. YouTube is going strong. Shout out to everybody that's been leaving comments. That shit's
boy
been pretty
Daniel.
funny. Yeah, boy Daniel.
I thought you knew who that was.
I don't know who that is.
You can
No
tell
idea,
people what
yeah.
happened or not.
I mean, like we can, but it was just
It's
like
embarrassing.
it was pretty like it was pretty just straight to the point. But shout out to Daniel Ramirez for like commenting on one of our YouTube videos and was like, I saw your sticker at Ricebox, and for those of you that don't know, Ricebox is like this really delicious Chinese takeout place here in Houston, and I put I put our sticker on it and recommended it, and you can find that on our Instagram. And so he commented that on our YouTube video, and I was like, oh, dope, man! Like, I replied, I was like, dope, thanks, thanks for the comments. Hey, if you want, you can check out our Instagram, and you can see like everywhere that we've been in Houston and places that we recommend. And like immediately afterwards, just like commented back from him, and he's like, "Nah, I'm good." And I was like,
looking at it, I'm just like, what the fuck?
I mean, like, there's
nah, I'm
like,
good, thanks.
Yeah, I mean, like, there's no like.
But I feel like at least we got the like, hey, this is good.
Yeah.
I don't want any more though.
Yeah.
Like, I was like, all right,
stop.
fine. Better than like making fun of us.
Still though, yeah. Shout out to that guy.
I'm still waiting for our first like real like internet abuse.
Oh yeah,
like,
that's. I mean,
fucking stupid.
We've definitely had that already. I think. Well, I guarantee like some people have watched this, been like, this is shit.
I want
like,
them to like write it out to us.
No, see, that's what they're.
now it's gonna happen. No, just good comments. Thanks everybody for listening and
man.
All the videos. Like you were telling me, we got a lot of subscriptions, so
yeah,
it's going well so far.
Yeah, it's going well. It's going well. So thank you guys all for the support. And anyways, let's kick this shit off, man. Episode 46. Let's get this because I'm hungry as hell. I don't know about you.
Damn, it just started. About to get that pizza again.
Ooh, hell yeah.
Keontae was telling me, she's like, y'all know you're gonna record You're gonna go eat your pizza, and I was like, we don't eat pizza every time.
We don't eat pizza every time.
But at the same time, I was like,
that sounds really good. That sounds delicious.
We were just at Little Caesars.
Shout out to Love Buzz. We can call them out. Yeah, Love Buzz Pizza.
Very good.
Fucking phenomenal pizza.
Got to get that cheesy bread before with the jalapenos
with
on it.
The jalapeno.
That they apparently pickle themselves.
All right, we gotta stop. Fucking, I'm starving. But anyways,
quick break. Let's be right back.
Yeah, we're just extra full. Well, let's kick it off, man. How was your week?
Week was good. They do anything? Nah, I went to Mexico this last weekend.
Oh, that's right.
I'm about to say, like, I feel like I had something to say.
Something.
Yeah, I took my second trip to I feel like I always say like Cancun,
yeah.
And they're like, "Oh, where'd you stay?" And then they're like, "That's not Cancun." I'm like, so I feel like I haven't really been to Cancun.
Yeah,
but we were in Playa del Carmen. And my friend Chris was getting married, so, congrats to Chris and Gala.
Yep.
I don't know if they watch, but congrats to y'all. It was a good time, man. I feel like I've never been to a beach wedding. So there's like that nervousness of like, how am I supposed to dress? But
yeah,
everything went well. Saw a bunch of old kind of friends from high school that I haven't seen in years.
Yeah, I saw the pictures look like freaking amazing.
It was a nice wedding, man.
Yeah, very beautiful wedding. I will say though that like outside weddings scare the shit out of me.
Why? Like,
I think
like if you were having it or just going in general.
I don't think I would ever have an outside wedding. Like
too many.
To me, like there's too many factors that can really fuck that up. Like
just it rained.
Yeah, rain. Fucking wind can just like crumple like the entire event.
I think while we were like, the ceremony was going on, there was like a framed picture of like the Virgin Mary like up on the altar. I don't think it was the wind, but there was like these photographers and they were like taking pictures, and one of them like bumped into it, and shit was just like, boom, and it like fell. I was like, shit felt very ominous, like it's just like okay, scary for some reason.
But it was an altar thing.
Yeah, well, it was like a framed picture. Like I don't know, it was like maybe like picture. This big. Okay. And like I didn't know that the guy knocked it over. I could just see it like in the corner, like just kind of fall over out of nowhere. It was like, oh shit. That's another thing. Not like complaining about the wedding, but like I don't like. There were a lot of photographers, and I feel like this is the thing I've seen in a lot of weddings. Like probably it's always like this.
Yeah.
Where you're sitting, I feel like I'm there, like I'm here to see the wedding, but there's like 4 or 5 photographers that are like right in front of them, like taking all the pictures for them. And I'm like, that's good that you get your pictures, but I'm like, I'd like to see something. Like I'd like to see y'all get married.
Yeah.
I'm just looking at the backs of these like 3 guys, like. Cool.
Yeah, there's definitely the obnoxious sort of photographers that do that, and then there's the photographers that are like pretty goddamn good, and they'll get like these amazing shots.
You don't even see them.
I always think that like it's crazy whenever you see, because we've been to weddings before where there's like 5 camera guys and they're just snapping pictures, and then when you get the pictures, like you can't see any camera equipment, no camera guy like in any of the pictures. I'm like, that's fucking skillful right there. Like knowing me, I don't know. I'd catch like the fucking most horrible angle of everyone.
Just like camera guys in the back.
Yeah, camera guys in the back. Like my flash would go off as soon as the other guy's flash would be extra fucking bright. It was just fucking weird.
Yeah, but overall it was a good time.
Nice.
We flew Spirit again.
Infamous Spirit Airlines.
So on the way there, it was like an hour and a half delayed.
God.
So what happened was they were like, but they don't say shit. That's the problem. So you're there, and we're like, all right, we're here early. We were ready to go. Flight takes off at 11:30, and then it's like, but it boards at like 10:45,
Yeah.
So it's like 10:45, and like we don't hear shit. Then it's like,
sorry.
Then it's like 11, like 11:15, and people are like, it's starting to get like kind of crowded, and you could tell people are like, let's just line up in our little zones, like we're about to get boarded, and so we're all standing there, and they're like, please like clear the lines, like we're not boarding right now. And it was like, well, what the fuck, yo? Like the thing says 10:30. So eventually, like people start asking questions, and they get on the thing, and they're like, we're trying to like get everything ready, like we're not boarding yet. Yeah, but you know what I mean? When I don't know if you ever had the situation like when you work somewhere in like service, when shit's going bad, like you like it's like a bad habit, but
it almost feels like you have to answer for it.
Yeah, but you also like there's like the kind of person like if you're a waiter and like the food's taking a long time, you could be like, hey, the food will be out like shortly. Sorry for the wait.
Yeah.
But as soon as it happened, like I don't like to look at the people. Because if I don't look at them and I don't see them, like nothing's wrong.
Yeah,
that's what they were doing. They were on that like talking to each other, like facing away.
Yep.
And that infuriates people because they're like, "What the fuck's taking so long?" So eventually, they're like, "All right, there's like 2 flight attendants that are sick, so we're waiting for like 2 more to show up." That are, like,
that's
on
why
call.
It was fucking.
Yeah.
Oh god.
So it's like, I want to say it's like not their fault, but like at the same time, it's like, get them out the fucking plane. Like let's get the fuck out of here. Like just roll them off. because they were. I don't know what they were sick of, but they never came out. Like I don't know where they went. So they might have came out, like went out the back of the plane or something.
Like the gate or some shit, huh?
Yeah. So we never saw them, but like then like one like flight attendant showed up, and like you could tell she was pissed. It was like they were like, it's my day off, and I had to fly to Mexico. And then like 20 minutes later, like another one showed up. They're like, we're gonna board in 5 minutes. I feel like another 30 minutes went by, and it was just like,
my God.
I went up there. I was like, what's taking so long? They're like, well, we don't have any updates, so I can't say anything. And it's just like, fuck this. So that was like real shitty. But on the way back, it's like we showed up and they're like, everybody get on the plane, let's get the fuck out of here. And we left and it was perfect. So I'm like, every time I fly Spirit, it's like one side of it, I'm like, I'm never doing this again.
Yeah.
But on the way back, I'm like, it wasn't too bad.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah.
But I don't know, I'll probably United from here on out.
Yeah, probably. I mean, I don't know about you. I don't know about like just strictly United because like, what other airline did we fly? We flew Alaskan Airline.
Did we?
Yeah, from Seattle when we went to Seattle like a couple years back.
That's where Steven works. I went to Seattle. That was just last year.
Last year, yeah, last year.
Steven works for Alaska Airlines, but
yeah, we flew that was a flight, yeah,
Oh.
and that one went well. That one went really well. But so while you were at Mexico, I was here and I was editing the video for our last episode 45. And so, in that episode, we talked about these shark bandits that were that were attempting to steal a shark from the aquarium. And so, for those of you that don't know, if this is your first time watching Nothing Special Podcast, first of all, welcome. But you'll see some pictures that I'll post up here in the middle. Yeah. And it's basically just corresponding with what we're talking about at the moment. Well, so when I was looking for shark photos for the shark heist, I like to look for stupid, I like to look for funny looking photos of whatever we're talking about. And I picked a pretty funny one. I picked that shark that was like dancing with Katy Perry that one time.
Yeah.
But in the
left
midst
shark
of that,
or whatever.
yeah, like in the midst of that, like I was Googling, like I try to Google stupid terms, like I won't just Google shark because then I'll get that real
Stock
National
shark
Geographic,
picture,
that like National Geographic, like hey, look at this fucking badass looking shark. So I'll put like shark power or shark whatever. But when I Googled shark power, I thought I was gonna get like, I don't know, like a buff shark, like somebody drew or something. But instead, what I got was this cream, and it said shark power. And I was like, what the fuck is shark power? And I clicked it, and it took me to like this like website, and apparently it was like this like topical cream that you just like put on your penis and it's supposed to like make it stay hard, like stay hard for fucking hours. I was like, damn.
What is it made out of?
I don't know.
Like, is it made out of shark? Like,
I don't know what the fuck it's made out of. I don't know why they picked the shark. I don't know if sharks are known.
are sexual. You know that?
I didn't know that.
I don't know.
What the fuck?
It's the symbol of masculinity.
Is it?
I
would
don't
think. What the fuck? And so, like, yeah, the shark power topical cream. So, so we're gonna try it out and test it and review it.
You'll
so.
see.
Most def. No, but
It's
like
gonna be hard as fuck just sitting here. Like it's working pretty well.
What's up, guys?
Yeah,
just like, yeah.
6 hours in.
I thought that was really weird. Like that's the first time I ever ran into like penis cream. Not ever on the internet, but while searching, while searching for topics or photos for the show, I thought that was like pretty weird.
Weird. Like there's things like that. Like so in Grand Theft Auto 5, Grand Theft Auto just makes fun of like society in general.
It sounded like such a fucking parody of what it is.
That's the thing. Is like in Grand Theft Auto 5, there's like that one guy who's like bull shark testosterone. Like it's hard as fuck or something like that. And like that's why I was just like, God, like you think sometimes you see that stuff in like games or something that's like, oh, they make society look so stupid, but it's just like, nah, that's how it is. Like,
just the most raging ass like boner. Like if shark power actually works, like Jesus. Apparently it's big in like India though. That's what I read. I don't know. I didn't do too much research. It was like,
just throwing the facts out.
Yeah, I just ordered 4
What's
pallets.
that other thing that they always sell in the stores, like goat weed or something like that?
Yeah, it's all that goat. Yeah,
it's
like
goat
pill.
It's like a little pill. Yeah,
yeah. It's always like the photo of like this like ripped ass dude with this like lady, and then a goat behind them or some shit.
Stacker 2.
Yeah, but that was the shark power, and that was pretty much that was pretty much that was my highlight of the week. It's just editing the videos. So but moving on, going on to this week, got mad stories to talk about, and it's no secret on Nothing Special. We really like to gravitate towards stories of pooping bandits.
Oh yeah. That's like
that's like
bread and butter.
Yeah, that's a very good staple. I mean, we got like the mad poopers of the different cities that we've attempted to solve.
I'm like still on that. Like I need to get in contact with somebody.
We need to interview the Houston pooper. Like that has to go down.
We need to look back at the video. I need to find the video and like really like do like a deep search on like who that is.
Yeah, I want a board with like the little red strings, kind of like.
I'm like, where were you,
Pedro? There has to be.
You like to poop a lot.
There has to be a network of just mad poopers everywhere.
And I think there's like a Reddit where they like just drop the deuce on like in the
there
heights.
Very well could be a Reddit. There's a Reddit for fucking everything.
Yeah,
especially going the deep web,
the dark web,
the dark web, and But going into this week, this wasn't just an ordinary like jogger going out and shitting on people's lawns. A high school superintendent has been arrested. His name is Thomas Tremigliani. I don't know, but he's 42 years old.
Uh-huh.
I'll post a picture up here of him. Don't worry.
Hey, you outing them like that too?
Hey, people have been outing them.
That motherfucker right there?
Yeah. Look at him.
Yes.
Jesus, looks like a mad shitter to me.
Yeah.
So, Thomas.
Looks like nothing, man. Like, even in the video.
So Thomas, who is a superintendent.
My God, I can't believe you did that shit. Like, when you said superintendent, I was thinking of The Simpsons where he's like.
Super Nintendo Chalmers. Yeah, who's a superintendent of this high school, was caught on camera shitting on a rival high school's football field.
I can get with that.
Like, but like, I don't know what it is, but apparently he did this. Apparently, like he wakes up at 6 a.m. most mornings and goes for a 3-mile jog. And during this 3-mile jog, that's where he would take his shit.
Like always?
Yeah. But like he would jog 3 miles there, take a shit, jog 3 miles
that's
back.
That's a long ass jog. I don't know.
That's 3 miles. Yeah, that's like that.
That's dedication.
That's
to take a shit in your rival's
that's a lot of dedication.
Field.
That's a lot of dedication. But there's so much like correlation between jogging and random shitting that's the key. Like that's like that. Like that's happening. Yeah,
it's like jogging,
and
shitting is like
I don't know what it is. Like why can't you just shit like before you
go.
jog?
I don't know. I feel like I'm like obviously don't exercise too much, but like
do I.
But I have like gone on my little like phases where I'm a run. Like I'm gonna be on a treadmill like 2-3 miles.
Like shit. Though?
Never. I feel like I never had like a situation where I'm like I gotta stop the run. I gotta take a shit.
Yeah.
So like that.
When we went on the hike at Seattle, that was a fucking 3.5, almost 4-hour hike.
Yeah.
Not once did I ever feel like taking a shit.
Do the shit
and
off
I do that.
Yeah.
So my thing is like, what the fuck is up with these joggers that are just kind of just shitting random places? And then again, he's a fucking superintendent. Like he got arrested, but now he doesn't face any jail time, but he's on administrative leave with pay. How they haven't fired him?
Shit like
how they have not fired him? I don't know. And apparently he's been doing this now for like months because the football players have been complaining of these giant man-sized shits that just show up on their field. And so the school took it upon themselves to get a camera, place it where the shits are happening. And yeah, sure enough, like they caught the fucking superintendent like taking shit there.
So a superintendent is like in charge of like a region of schools?
Yeah.
So like
he went to a rival region of other fucking schools.
But that feels like it would be like far, like it almost feels like, is he shitting on like one of the schools in his own like thing?
I don't know.
So, but that's where I like, I don't know. Well, before like the show, you know, you were telling me like,
yeah,
you didn't want to like. Sometimes like somebody will bring a story here and like he won't tell me too much about it before, so that way I can like talk fresh shit.
Yeah,
and same thing with him. But like before, he was like, yeah, it's the pooping, whatever. You know, he was pooping on. We'll get into it. So I was thinking that like he shit on one of the students, and I don't know how that would have happened. So I was like, oh man, like that's fucked up. We're gonna get this motherfucker. But like when you say that he was shitting on like a rival school's like field, I'm like, sometimes you gotta like show him what's up.
Like it's funny because I don't know. It's just it's such a cartoonish like comedic
thing to do,
sort of like thing to do. Like this is definitely something you'd see on a fucking movie or like some sort of TV show cartoon. But this is happening in real life. They caught the guy on camera. Like I really want to fucking talk to him.
An
and
adult
just kinda,
man.
yeah,
Like,
42 years old.
Yeah.
You know, he's like a lot of people say 30s are the new 20s. There's been nothing of 40s being anything other than 40s you're a fucking man.
40s is the new teens.
Yeah, 40s, yeah, you're in your 40s.
Yeah. And you're like the superintendent.
Yeah.
Like,
yeah, and so you're fucking you're the person that principals report to.
mm-hmm.
What the fuck? And it's just I don't know. I thought that was such a fucking insane, crazy story to me. Hilarious, very hilarious, but at the same time, like, what the fuck? Like, why isn't he fired yet? I don't know.
I always see the administrative leave with pay thing. I'm always like, that must be like a sweet gig to have.
Yeah, hell yeah.
Like, obviously he's gonna get in trouble, and like you said, he was arrested.
Yeah.
So obviously it's not all good times, but like, and a lot of times administrative pay with leave shit, like you did like something fucked up anyway. So I'm not condoning anybody that got that, but it just feels like if I took shit on the field, like that's fucked up, and I didn't get arrested, and it's like, you're not coming to work. We're still gonna pay you for like a month until you investigate what happened. It's just like, I just took a shit on the field. I thought it was funny. And then like they're like, all right, you're back, but you're like on like probation.
All the videos of him coming out of the courtroom or whatever. He's just like mad quiet. He doesn't like say anything. Like he obviously looks ashamed, but again, it's just he took a shit on like another school's field.
There was this is kind of like off topic, and I don't know too much about it. But did you ever see that thing where like there was a school and they were having a hearing about like bullying, and they were like, the schools are letting kids get away with like bullying, and this guy shows up and he's like, he looked like he was maybe like 50 or like 40, and he's like bullying some, but then he accuses like the superintendent or the guy in charge. He's like, you were my bully and you like gave me a swirly or something like that. God. And he's like, so look at yourself, and he like leaves. And the guy's like, I don't know what he's talking about. But like, that seems like some movie shit. You know what I mean? Like, some weird Adam Sandler like type shit.
That definitely seems like this is gonna be a raunchy comedy.
But like, I don't ever know what happened, but I remember watching that and being like, shit. And I think people were like looking into it because they were like, yeah, they did go to the same school. Like,
I think
together.
people did. I think it was proven that like he did like
he was like a bully.
He was a bully.
So that's like the shit I see. And I'm like, they're just in charge now. The bullies are in charge.
That's not even. That's a couple of degrees away from that movie Benchwarmers. Like, you ever seen that movie?
Yeah. That's the one with the fucking
with Rob Schneider and fucking John Heater.
Yeah. He wears a fucking helmet or whatever.
He wears a helmet. I like that movie.
That's a good.
You like that one?
Yeah. It's fun.
That was pretty fucking hilarious. But yeah, in that movie, he's Rob Schneider's outed to be a bully.
Yeah, but he's like, I feel like that movie gives him the vibe of like a cool guy that's like,
he's super
a
nice.
Ladies man. I'm just like, bullshit. Like, he's such a weirdo. He's like kind of tan and like, I'm good at baseball. Yeah. Like, ugh.
I don't get it.
So weird.
But yeah, shout out to the pooping superintendent. They like these fucking poopers they're not stopping. I don't know what's happening.
Who has stories forever?
I don't know what's happening in the past. Like, I feel like in the past 2 years, like it's definitely.
I feel like it's gonna lead up to like one of us gets caught like doing it.
Yeah, most definitely.
Like you're gonna be on one of your famous jogs.
I want to have. I'm fucking famous jogs. Hell no, fucking one and only jogs.
The one jog I took, took a shit. You took a shit like fucking a block down the street.
I can count on my hand how many times I took a jog in like a year. It's two.
Yeah, I got my hand.
It's two.
Two. But the number 2, taking the shit, it all adds up. That's telling you.
Speaking of school officials, though.
Telling you. Speaking of school officials.
Yeah, speaking of school officials. So that was my school official story. And then Frankie wants to come and bring another school official story that I think fucking is ridiculous.
Yeah. And like,
why don't you go ahead?
I feel like I don't know the guy's name off the like top of my head. Yeah. But
I just looked it up. So don't give me that.
There was a story that came out I think a while ago. I think the story came out a while ago without like many facts, where there was a librarian. He was in charge of a library, I think in Utah, I think. And so apparently he had been.
Oh, so it was like a public library?
Yeah.
Okay.
So apparently he had been using public money.
Oh my
And he got caught. So when he got caught, they took him to court, and like the details came out that it was like, public library director goes to court because he had used $89,000 in public money. But now more details have come out that the $89,000 he used was in like microtransactions in the mobile app Game
man.
of War. Game of War is like that commercial you
God.
always see with Kate Upton, and she's like, "Oh, Your Highness, like the battle awaits you." Something
She's
like that.
coming out of the like bathtub with milk or some shit.
Yeah. Like they're always in the Super Bowl commercials.
Yeah.
So this motherfucker like was taking the money like of the people and like what was supposed to probably be for the libraries and stuff. $89,000 he used to play a fucking game, like an app. Like I spend $5 in those things sometimes,
God.
and like I feel bad. But I don't understand how you use $89,000 to do that.
$89,000 fucking dollars. That's insane. When you told me about this, it was like, yeah, this guy's library stole like $89,000.
Mm-hmm.
I was like, damn, he must have fucking bought, or like he must have been using that shit.
Kate Upton probably at his house, like telling him how to play the game.
I mean, that's a lot of fucking money.
Mm-hmm.
And then you told me it was a fucking mobile game.
That's the thing. I'm just like, what the hell?
Microtransactions. The fact that you can spend that much on a fucking app,
and that like goes into like, so you know, people who don't know much about games, microtransactions are when you pay actual money in a game. So you know, obviously everybody knows apps where you download a game for free, but then it's like, oh, if you want to like get this thing sooner, pay $5.
Yeah.
And so that's what that is, and it's a big thing in gaming because like a lot of people find it like it's like exploitation of, you know, people, like you feel like you have to spend more money. It's a whole thing.
Yeah.
But like that to me is like a big like sign of like that shit is addictive, and like that's
it's fucking
like,
it's mad addictive. That's like and that's why too a lot of countries now are implementing these new laws directly correlating to addiction and microtransactions within any game, mobile app, console gaming, like all gaming. And I think that it just fucking blows my mind. $89,000. I mean, that on top of like, and I don't want to go away from this story, but I saw this other thing to where this little girl managed to buy $400 worth of like toys.
Oh yeah, the little girl, she's standing by all the boxes.
Yeah, she's standing by like it's a cute picture and all, and I'm sure like the parents either sent some of the toys back or whatever. But at the same time, it's kind of like when you give a child that like the power of, you know, the internet essentially, and you hand them an iPad or a phone, they can easily maneuver their way around that shit. And the fact that this guy spent $89,000 knowingly or willingly,
this is an adult. Once again, these are adults.
He's an adult that's doing that shit. But my thing is, I'm just surprised that the app allows it to happen that
to
much.
That much money.
$89,000 fucking dollars. Like there is no game in the world that's worth anywhere near that amount. Yeah. Anywhere fucking near. And it almost seems like fucking insane to, like, what was he spending it on? Because like,
I don't know. I've never played the game.
I think I've played it. Like I think I've played Game of War?
I think it's called Game of War.
Game of War. Game of Thrones. But like Game of War. So I think I played that with because my little cousins played it, and like they wanted me to play with them, so I got on. Yeah, it's a pretty good little game. It's whatever. It's like a tap little strategic sort of game. And but my thing is like you spend money to get their in-game currency. So, and the reason you get the in-game currency is to unlock other like different cards and different characters that you can choose to be on your battlefield. So what the fuck is like $89,000 translates to how much currency in the game, and what was he unlocking? Because like if he did not unlock every fucking character with $89,000, then that's such a fucking cash grab for like these games that are just doing
are, like,
this.
cash grabs.
All of them are cash grabs, but like
I'm hooked on that fucking game.
Insane.
Or you go ahead.
It's crazy because we played Overwatch.
Yeah,
and I could be real. Like I've spent, like, if I'm being real with myself, I've probably spent like $120 in Overwatch. 120 total.
Is that including the game when you bought it?
Yeah, like $60 on top of the $60 I paid for the game. Like $120 total, and that's to get me skins. And even then, I don't have all the skins, but I can say I have like
the ones you want,
a good majority of them. So I'm kind of like, what the fuck? Like if he what's compelling this guy to just keep spending and spending and spending if he hasn't unlocked them? And the fact that he hasn't unlocked them, it's kind of like, fuck, these little microtransaction games are just getting out of fucking hand.
Well, they're so designed to like make you want to like do that.
Yeah.
I never played that game, but like I told you, there's this fucking game called Cooking Craze.
Yeah.
And it seems to be in the same vein of these games like Candy Crush and whatever, where they have like a bill. It's like what feels like 600 levels.
Yeah.
And you just keep going, and of course they get harder and harder. But it has that little loop to it where it's like, oh, I'm working towards like my next upgrade, and it doesn't take that long to get my next upgrade, so it feels good when you get it, and then you keep going and winning and winning up until the point that's like, damn, if only I had like 2 more like coins. Let me spend $5 real quick.
Yep.
And so like I've put like maybe like probably like $10 or like $15 into it, which like to me, like I don't know, I don't know if I justified in my mind that like I put in like so many hours into this little stupid game that I might as well like throw them like $15.
Yeah,
I've been playing your game, it's free.
Yeah,
whatever.
Exactly.
But at the same time, it's like there is logic behind these games that are saying like, let's get people to spend money.
Oh yeah, dude.
And design the game in a way that they want to do this shit.
Yep.
But once again, this is like an adult man that like
stole this.
Is in
money.
charge of public money,
and
like it doesn't make it better. But a lot of the times when public, what's it called? People in like public office or whatever it's called, people that hold some kind of power in like the county or government or anything, when they steal money, it's like that's fucked up. But I understand in the sense that like money can corrupt you and make you want to steal, and for your own like gain. I'm just like, but this motherfucker was just playing this game. Like he wasn't keeping it. He was just taking it and spending it on this fucking game that doesn't give you any value.
Yeah, there's no value. There's no fucking value to this game whatsoever, and it's God, dude, that's crazy, man.
And he ended up pleading guilty. I think.
I want to see what his inventory is like. I want to see what's
going on.
What did he get? Because he like $89,000. You had to have fucking like gotten early access to Game of War 2 and 3. Like I want to see the beta download codes already on this fucking phone. Something.
Some kind of input on the next design of the game.
Something, dude. That's crazy, man. And then like the developers, I mean, they didn't know the money was stolen, so they're kind of like,
what are they like?
That's
not our problem.
And like, how many fucking other people are like? You think he's the only person that's spending that much?
No, like that's definitely a thing. Like if you think about it, like I think that's one of the most popular games like ever on like phones. So if he spent that much, like there's probably so many people who have at least spent like $5,000. Like if it's out for like, let's say the game's been out for like 5 years, $5 doesn't feel like too much. Like I justify it myself. Like when I spent $5 in that one game, it's like $5. I pay like $9 at like Subway to get a sandwich or something like that. What's $5? Like that's nothing. And then you do it, and it's like 2 days later, you might do it again.
Yeah.
And then again until you like, oh, I might have spent like $100 on this game this month.
Yeah.
And then you don't feel it because it's just $5 at a time here and there, and there's like millions of people playing this game if it's that popular,
Yeah.
So that fucking adds up.
There's if you were able to see how much you've spent on like video games in general, would you want to see? Would you want to know?
I don't like just game. Like I don't think so because like I have a stack of PS4 games like this tall.
Yeah,
and like it's like 60, 60, 60, 60, 60. So it's not. I spend a lot of money on games.
Yeah, so do I. I think like like I asked that because Steam came out with something now to where you can see how much money you've spent on their platform. And Steam is, for those of you that don't know, Steam is for PC games. PC gamers, they go there, download games, and there it is.
Just like a marketplace for games. I
guess,
right?
Pretty much a marketplace. And so they implemented something to where you can see how much money you've spent total on Steam. And on this other podcast that's run by a couple of people down with Rooster Teeth, it's called Glitch Please. Very good podcast. Check them out. But they looked up what they've spent. And I think like one guy was like 12,000. Another guy was like 8,000. And then another like another person was like down to 6,800 or something like that. And it was fucking insane. I was like, "Fuck, I know I've spent that."
That's
like,
what I mean. Like if you think about like in your whole, and that's just like Steam hasn't been around that long.
Yeah,
I'm just talking about like if I go back to even when I was a kid, when I get my parents to buy me games.
Oh god,
yeah. And now that I like buy my own games, it's like I don't really like.
I
buy what I want. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So,
first game I ever bought was fucking Sonic 2 for Sega Genesis, and even then. That was like $35.
Yeah,
Toys R Us, rest in peace.
And like, but when you stack them like that, like I told you, like, because I just keep them in a stack, like on the floor.
It's fucking insane.
I see all you.
That stuff behind you, shit. This, god damn, this is like nonstop.
But crazy. I look at it and there's like, especially because when you look at it sometimes and you're like, oh, there's that one game I played for like 2 hours.
Yeah,
and I'm just like, I didn't need to buy that. Like, I don't know why I did that, but whatever. But anyways, this guy pled guilty, and I think they told him like, all right. you're gonna have to pay back $70,000. So he sold his house, and he's had to like empty out his like retirement fund.
He sold his house. He didn't get $70,000.
That's what he said. He said he sold his house, and he still had to like empty out his retirement fund.
Fuck.
Which I don't know, like how, like that's what I mean. Like they said he sold his house, but I don't know what that like. He must, if he's that bad with this, like he must be in some kind of other debt.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Like you know what I mean? True, like it must be like a thing with him that's just kind of like psychological, like spending. But also, like I'm sure he has to pay like probably like lawyer fees and like stuff like that.
Librarian. If you think about it, like dude's just like quiet in this very quiet place all day, and he just has like his thoughts to like calm him.
How am I gonna get this money?
Yeah. Oh shit.
But it's all like in an effort because like he doesn't want to. Obviously, he doesn't want to go to prison.
Yeah.
So like,
how long?
He's got to do that.
How long had he been stealing money?
Shit, that I don't know. I could probably like look it up real quick, but I don't want to.
The superintendent's been pooping for months. Apparently,
I feel like this guy's probably been doing this for like a couple years. I would assume.
Yeah,
I would assume it's like that because $89,000 is a lot of money.
How does he get? How does he get his hand on that?
That's
He's a librarian.
I was reading about it and it said like he was putting it into like Amazon cards and stuff like that. I don't know how. Like what I'm saying, like I don't know, like does money comes to him somehow, but I don't know how he like. Probably shaved some off the top, you know what I mean? And little by little, he got to that.
A real casino, like,
yeah,
like see that guy?
They got 100,000.
Yeah, he shaves the top off.
But I'll just take those couple, like, they give the library 100,000, $101,000.
Yeah.
I'm gonna take that 1,000 off the top and just say they gave. I don't know how it works. I really don't. Yeah. But yeah, it said he was putting them into like Amazon cards and stuff like that, and then he was spending it. But it's just it's crazy. There was somebody else. I really don't know where I heard this, but there was another place I was working where the guy got, I don't know if I was working there, I don't really know where I heard the story, but they said the guy was working there and he was stealing money, or he was using the company like credit card to buy like fajitas. And then he was selling the fajitas on the side, and he was making a lot of fucking money.
Hey man, fajitas go for a lot. Yeah, of money
like he was buying like like lots of meat.
Fucking fajitas go. I think right now fajitas are upwards of like $13 for a pound.
Fajitas the new Bitcoin.
Yeah,
you heard it here first.
Fajita coins.
Yeah. But yeah, so people everywhere just fucking dicks. I guess like they'll do anything they can, but that guy definitely got caught too.
The heat coins.
I was thinking, I
checked out as soon as you said fajitas.
I was still talking, but my mind was like for hit coins.
Coins.
Yeah, but yeah, well, that's the story of that guy.
That's that's fucking crazy. There must be I was trying to go for
the thing is, since I don't know if y'all can see his little board back here. So usually this is over there.
Yeah.
So like right now I'm having to be like, so that's the end of that guy.
Just looking real quick. Oh man. Yeah, this is our topic board, by the way. So a nice introduction to him or her. I guess it could be whatever it wants. It's a very fluid board.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We don't judge here.
No, we don't. No way. So next topic though.
This is random. Do you ever feel like little moments like that where like we look at each other and we laugh and it's like that was funny, but then you watch it later, you're like, ooh. Oh,
yeah. I zoom in on this all the time.
Because I always think we have those moments where we like laugh like
yeah, why the fuck do you think I zoom in on this?
Yeah, and it gets quiet and we're like, no, it was smooth, it was perfect. But then like think about it later, it's like and like you know what I mean? It's like awkward as shit.
Yeah, you get like seeing like my 3 chins and shit. I'm like,
okay, it's that one.
But I wanted to cover this story this week because it was fucking blowing up. But earlier this week, Alex Jones was actually banned off of every fucking social media site like known to man, and it just happened in such like a domino effect. For those of you that don't know, I mean, I don't know much about Alex Jones other than he's a very fucking like eccentric like conspiracy theorist that has blown up in recent years, and he hosts the InfoWars channels on YouTube, and he has a podcast and everything, and he has a huge following, like millions of people. I think he has like 1.4 million followers on YouTube, or he had. He doesn't have the channel anymore. And he's just like, he's a conspiracy theorist, but very, very eccentric fucking conspiracy theorist. One of them, like, he's the type of person to where a lot of the shit he says are just turned into memes because they're so fucking ridiculous. And like, he's the guy that was like, they're turning the frogs gay.
Yeah.
That was him.
He's just very like intense,
Yeah,
right?
very
like everything
intense,
is like
fucking like visually like insane person. Like and that's just how he is. That really is. And so he has this network of different things that he hosts and everything, and one by one, all these social media sites started shutting him down. I think first he was kicked off of like, I think it was either YouTube or Facebook first, but whoever did it first, one of those two did it second. And then after that, it was like, no Instagram, no, I think no iTunes took him off, so his podcast you can't find his podcast anywhere. And then he was like temporarily banned on Twitter. And so you have a lot of people that are like, yeah, fucking finally, like get this guy off the air because he's just like spitting nonsense. And like to their credit, yeah, he is. He's spitting like stupid shit. He was a guy that like came out and was like, Sandy Hook was a fucking like was a staged event, so was 9/11 and all this other shit, and very fucked up things to kind of say in like lieu of those events. But my thing is, with all these sites sort of like shutting him down at once and this becoming such a huge story, I'm not defending him in any way, shape, or form. I'm not defending what he says, but I just think that these sites have given him such a huge spotlight now, and they're just adding more fuel to the fire of him and his followers just like growing. And in a sense, I guess what I'm trying to say is like they're censoring him, but he's spitting such like stupid shit, like it can easily be turned against him and made into jokes, because that's what people are already doing.
Yeah.
Why are you giving him the benefit of the doubt of like banning him preventing him to say anything else? Because I think that's sort of like taking freedom of speech away. And censorship. Like, the dude's fucking ridiculous. He's obviously crazy. Like, why are you doing this? And so far, there's been no response. Like, there's just been like cold turkey. The only platform that responded was Twitter, and they were just like, yeah, we temporarily banned him because like he hasn't really broken any of our rules. Like, if he does, yeah, we'll ban him. But other than that, like, no, like there's no reason for us to ban this guy ever. Yeah. And so I think, and Twitter's very right to do that. Like, yeah, if he hasn't broken any rules, don't fucking ban him. And I don't know. I think it's just weird. Like, why all of a sudden, like, all these fucking social media platforms are just kind of, or not even social media, but just all these platforms, banning this dude. And right now too.
Yeah. So I guess, like I said, I don't know much about the guy, and I also don't know much about like anything really, like anything like political or anything like that.
Yeah.
I know like that he's a very like, I'm not like super conservative, right?
Oh,
like, he's fucking liberals ruining the world.
Most def.
And he says a lot of shit that, like you said, like that Sandy Hook shit, that's all like fucked up. But like I guess like you were kind of saying the same thing, is that like I feel like I don't agree with the shit he says.
Yeah.
And
no, definitely.
I feel like there's a certain point where like if he's saying like things that are like inciting some kind of violence or like things like that, those are things that are like, there's a freedom of speech that's like you can really have whatever views you want.
Yeah.
But as long as your like words and views aren't like directly causing like, let's go kill this guy, shit like that. And I from what I understand, he's probably not doing that. I don't really know. I've never seen his videos. So if he is doing that, then like obviously fuck that guy. Whatever.
Yeah, for real. Definitely. Because we don't watch his shit.
Yeah,
like,
so that's what I'm saying.
Definitely,
like,
it's not us. Like we're not his audience.
Yeah. So them like banning him like feels kind of like, if you don't like it, don't look at it. You know what I mean? So
exactly.
like I, you know what I mean? Like I don't agree with like what he's saying.
Yeah.
But I also feel like I wouldn't like it if I wouldn't feel like it'd be right if like they start like, oh man, we're cutting off all the people who are like saying the opposite.
Yeah.
So I feel like there should be like, this is what the country supposedly is built around, is everybody has the freedom to talk about whatever they want and have their views.
Exactly.
So you shouldn't really like ban him if he hasn't done anything that like they said like is against any kind of codes or anything. So I feel like them doing that is a bit kind of hypocritical of like if they're not gonna ban other like super kind of political things. But also when you're saying why all of a sudden, like I also get the vibe that it's like one like does it, then it's like the pressure builds like, well, how come you haven't?
Yeah, why haven't
you do agree with this shit?
Yeah,
and that also builds like a view that's like, oh, all the like social media services are liberal run, you know, and they're just for that, which I'm kind of like,
it's a really fucked up kind of just system though when you think about it like that, because I'm sure that's exactly what happened. And I don't know, it just, again, by taking his content away, all you've done essentially is just shine this huge spotlight on him, because people are like, people who haven't heard about him, who the fuck is Alex Jones guy? I'm gonna look for his shit. So like people are actively like searching for his stuff now that like already isn't a fucking meme, because this guy is like, I've seen the videos that, you know, people have made and they posted online. You can find his stuff on Reddit. You can find it on that one channel, that one Facebook channel. I
always forget what it's called. They make fun of everything.
Yeah, with like Tabasco Sweet. Yeah, but like they make these like ridiculous fucking videos of him, and they're hilarious because he is so passionate about what he's saying, but what he's saying is shit. It's just stupid. It's like the stupidest shit ever. And now I think that all they've done is, like I said, they've just skyrocketed him. Like he's like a hot commodity, and like people want to know what the fuck like he's about, and I'm sure like a lot of people already do, but for people that don't know, they're gonna actively search for this guy now. Yeah,
and so, I guess just the point at the end is that even though you don't agree, like I feel like that, like the freedom of speech, like a lot of people are like, well, this is freedom of speech, and we should be able to say and like protest and say what we want. Yeah, and I'm like, hell yeah, we should.
You should. Yeah, you
but
should.
Then there's also like, I feel like I can't say that I want my freedom of speech yet, like. This, but I don't want him saying that.
Yeah,
like,
exactly.
You know what I mean?
Yeah,
so, like, that's where I'm like,
you can't. I can't. That's where that gray line is. But like, there always has to be that kind of gray line. You know, everything isn't like yes or no. Yeah, and it's I think now in the state that in the state that the U.S. is in, like, because I don't see this shit happening like, and not so much everywhere else. I mean, if they are, it's because like, they don't have a, you know, they're not like democratic or anything like that. But in the U.S. especially, I feel like society is on this like, you're either with us or you're fucking against us, and it's just, I don't know, it's fucking not terrifying, but it's kind of like, where are we headed? Like this shit is like a little weird.
It's something that definitely exists like everywhere, but I just feel like it's definitely just been so magnified and intensified that it's like, we used to be like, we believe in this, we believe this, but it's like, hey, but now it's like fucking lying right in the middle, like and you're a piece of shit if you believe that.
And when these sites do this, like YouTube, for example, they did it, and they came out and they made a statement to where it was sort of like, yeah, you know, we feel that he promoted hate speech, so therefore we took him off our platform, but they never give definitive like lines of what their views, like I guess what the examples were that he said. So now to me what that does is, unless you give those unless you give those examples, there's going to be people that abuse that system, and now you've just created more like like he's like a fucking hydra, like you just created like more Alex Jones essentially, because like people are pissed off, now they're going to do their own stuff. And when you have these platforms that cut a certain channel off and don't necessarily give a concrete reason why, it just opens up a whole new shithole of just like what people can go around. Like it's just a loophole, you know. And I feel
like I want to like be like super clear, and they're like, this is all to be said that like if I look some like Alex Jones shit up, and he's like said some racist like, shit, then I'm like, there's no place for racism.
Most def. But like,
or like any kind of like super hateful shit. Like, but everything I've like seen, I haven't seen much, has been just like the government is like whatever, and like they're doing this and you know whatever. So, but you know, if we find out that it's something else, then
we in no way support him. We in no way support this fucking nut job. I mean, he is.
There's just, I guess the principle is that we're debating what it means to have freedom of speech or whatever,
the freedom of speech. Yeah, I can't believe we use the word debating. Jesus Christ.
We're not debating, but that's just the way. Because now I'm like scared that I'm gonna look it up and it's gonna be like, I'm super racist. And like, oh fuck,
fucking shit.
Yeah,
take them off.
Yeah, either way.
But even then, like, okay, then say that. Like, say why you're.
That's
taking
what I'm saying.
off.
Like, if that's what I mean. Like, that's why I had the feeling that like it might not be as obvious like that. Like, there must be something going on.
Yeah.
Or else it's very easy to say like, this guy was saying homophobic or racist or sexist things. Like, that's why we took him off. And it's like, all right, well.
And then
fine.
also too, like, when you can bring this back to the whole adpocalypse that YouTube went through last year. Like, and real quick recap on that. Do you know what that story was? Like the adpocalypse and everything. So like YouTube came and they fucking just like scrubbed all of like the YouTube channels, and they were just like, they just started demonetizing like so many fucking videos from so many channels that have a huge following or not. They just demonetized like a lot of videos, and when people asked why, they were just like, oh yeah, you violated our policies, our rules and shit. Like, to shout out one channel, like Reckless Eating. Like those guys there that fucking eat disgusting stuff, and like I'm a subscriber, but like they'll like on some videos, because they eat disgusting crap, like they'll vomit, and so YouTube's like, oh, our advertisers don't like want their shit run on like videos that have like vomit in them. Well, that's like 90% of their fucking videos, so they're like, well shit, like there's no money coming in now. And they essentially shut down a lot of channels, and if not shut down, they've really hindered their like release of like content. So like where people had like a team of editors or cameramen, well, they can't pay them anymore. So because all their videos have been demonetized, so they had to let those people go. So instead of one video every week, now it's like a video every month. Yeah. And it was just like this huge thing, and so many channels like have had to quit. I mean, you got channels like H3H3, who H3H3, they're a comedic channel. And shout out to them, because I'm a huge fan of those guys, and they're such a comedic channel, and they stand up, like I stand behind them big time, because they stand up for like really good things and good people and all that stuff, and but it's comedic, and they got demonetized, like a lot of their videos did. So now they do like a podcast, and now they do a lot of stuff on like Twitch and everything like that. So I don't know, it was just weird. But then Alex Jones still had his channel, like when that went down.
Yeah, that's true.
So it's like, what the fuck? Like, it's weird. Like,
why now all of a sudden?
Why now all of a sudden? Yeah, exactly.
If he didn't break your rules back then,
yeah, which he obviously did.
All right,
like he obviously, because again, when the Sandy Hook thing happened, he was the one that brought like that bullshit fucking
that
was
like
on stage,
fake,
fucking dumb. It was stupid, and so it's like, how is that okay? But this comedic channel H3H3 is like, not. I don't know. It was weird.
Yeah,
and I don't know. The whole freedom of speech thing is a hot topic. It's a hot topic in our nation right now. And then with football starting up, the whole kneeling at the national anthem. It's like, what the fuck?
I don't want to like get into like a whole thing.
Yeah.
But
that's gonna be like, people are just so like, you still got a lot of people that don't want to watch it.
I'm just like, what's the fucking big deal?
Yeah,
like,
there's no big deal.
Like I don't know. Like that's what I mean. Like if you get offended by that shit, it's like, you really don't give a shit about anybody then, like, or like they don't give a shit about anybody, but also like you really don't have like the American values of like you should be able to protest what you want and have your freedom of speech. Yeah. So it's like, I don't know, I don't see the whole like, I'm so American, this offends me, but it's like, but you're not upholding like the whatever.
Yeah. God damn, that could be a whole episode.
Yeah, that's what I'm like. I feel like we're gonna like go into like a wormhole
itself. But yeah, speaking of conspiracy theories, though, I have a conspiracy theory of my own. And this goes back to another story that I posted on our Facebook. And apparently some, I guess, nutritionists or like I forgot what organization found this out, but they did a study on like cereal, on like children's cereal, or like just cereal in general. And they were finding like pretty, from what they claim, like pretty sizable amounts of like weed killer in these cereals. And I had to like I read the article, and they were using things like
parts per million.
Yeah, parts per million, like ppm. Well, okay, like have you heard of like ppm? Like you work with sort of.
Yeah, I feel like
sort of.
Yeah.
Right?
I don't want to like. I don't want to sound dumb and say something that it's not what it is.
Yeah, okay.
But I have this vague sense that like parts per million is like if something is like 1 part per million, it's like, oh, it's like 1 part fucking weed killer, and like 999,999 parts not weed killer, is what like I would have the feeling that it is. I think it might be.
So like, they were spitting in this article. They were spitting out like numbers like 691 like parts per million of like this cereal and this cereal, and it turns out like I want to say Lucky Charms, like for a children's type cereal, had a fuck ton. Like let's give them the number of like like 400 to 600, but then they're like, and then you got like Nutri-Grain, like which sounds like a really old person cereal, and that was up to like 1,000 something parts per million of like this glyphosate or something like that. I think it was like the weed killer, and I like in my head immediately I was like, that's a lot of parts per million. Like, I was like, holy shit, like that's what the fuck, like government's like poisoning us. That's just like my initial thoughts,
and that's how most of the internet works,
and that's how most people work. Like fuck that. That's how most people work. But like, when you talk to me, like, there's no secret. Like, I love conspiracy theories. I'm not gonna say
regular Alex Jones over here.
No, fuck that. Like, I'm not gonna say I believe all of them. I don't.
But you find them interesting.
I find them very interesting. I 100% do. Yeah, I 100% do. So, as somebody who does find those interesting, like I saw this story. Immediately my mind goes to that, like, fuck, they're like poisoning like all these fucking people, and like of course like the old person brand is like a lot more because they're trying to weed them off. They're trying to weed them off already. Like, it makes so much fucking sense.
That's why they're using weed killer.
Yeah, and then it's like, and then it says like glyphosate's like been known to like have a very high like tie to cancer, and this and that, and I was like, see, like that makes so much sense, this and that. But then I read deeper into it. I did like my own research, like just because like that. I think that's what you should do, like in most of these cases. And first, like I like the first like sort of medical articles that I found. They're like, yeah, no, it's not like determined that this is like tied to cancer, like at all. Really, it's just that we tested it on like different animals, sort of like mice and all that. We found that like there could be a tie, but nothing was ever really like determined, or like nothing was ever really like confirmed. Like, yeah, no, this shit like causes cancer. Most things probably do. Like nowadays.
I feel like I feel like I've heard that like barbecue is like something that can give you cancer because it's got like the burnt shit on it.
Yeah. So I mean, it was just I don't know. I read that, I was like, why don't more people do this? Why don't more people just kind of do their own sort of research when it comes to this kind of shit?
It's always so easy because like I think I saw the article and I started looking into it, and Keontae was telling me about it, and I think it's the same. It's like Roundup, right? It's like
Roundup.
The company called like Monsanto or something like that.
Monsanto, yeah.
I don't know if that's something like that. And because there was a court case where some guy, like, it was proven that this guy had terminal cancer, and it was like connected to Roundup because he was like a landscaper for like a school or something like that. And so he was always around like the weed killer and stuff. Yeah. So they found that like he has cancer because he was around that shit for so long. But that's, he got like millions of dollars and whatever. And I guess it's good that like people know that now, or you know what I mean? Like I feel bad for this guy. It's a real shame. But I would assume chemicals, I don't know. Yeah. But I think that's why like it's kind of in the like. All right, so little side thing here. I'm gonna get back. I keep crossing my legs, and like I in my mind I'm like I'm uncross them for a while, and before I realize it, I'm talking to you, and like they're like it's back up, and I just did it right now. So all right, that's gonna be a thing every time you see me do it. Yeah. So he like that's why I think it's been kind of people are talking about it. And I saw a thing you posted, and it's so easy to read an article and see like. There's poison in the cereal. Yeah. It's like this many parts per million, and when you think like it's 1,000 ppms, and it's like that's a lot of ppms.
Yeah, exactly. I was like, that's so many ppms. And I've never heard of so many ppms in my fucking life.
Yeah, and so like then like I was looking into it and
turning the old people gay.
Like I started reading into it, and it's like the thing that like they published that said that had like it was all whatever, they were saying that it never went through any kind of like scientific like peer review. It never had any like, and so shit like that is just like out there, and people would just see that and they're like, well, the fucking scientists say that like it's causing cancer, and like they like said so like the FDA has like, you know, everything is like poisonous in whatever amounts or whatever.
Yeah.
But like it has to be a certain like amount. Like if you think like if you're in the pool, you've definitely had like a gulp of like pool water.
Mm-hmm.
There's like chlorine in that shit and chemicals and like we're still alive. You know what I mean?
I drank a fuck ton of that.
Yeah,
dude.
and it's because it's so like I guess watered down that it's like not enough to like kill you. It's like kind of like trace amounts.
You're gonna feel like a little like shitty afterwards.
Yeah. Like, and the thing of the cereals are like so small.
Yeah.
And like the FDA, I think like they have like a certain set that's like anything below this is not poisonous.
Yeah.
So it's like
it's
below,
yeah.
and even then, I think like I saw like the like levels of it was like really fucking low. It's like it was supposed to be, let's say if it was like 0.1, at which it wasn't like 0.1, but like then like the company itself has like a like thing where we don't even want to be above like 0.01.
Yeah.
And even if we looked at 0.001, it was like something like that it was like it doesn't even like register. So it's just like numbers and shit can be like thrown in your face to like scare the hell out of you.
Yeah, most definitely. Like when it comes to the FDA, I read an article once and they were saying they even have measurements of like rodent hairs or some shit that can be like within your food.
Yeah.
And be okay.
Yeah.
Or not okay, but be like permissible.
Like you ain't gonna die. Like
but like they can do testing for like these food companies that you know mass produce these like cans of food or these like meat packages, whatever. And there's a number, like a measurement of like, okay, like this can of like beans can have like 2.3 like rodent hairs in it, and it's okay. Like, it's fine. Go ahead and eat it. I thought that shit was really gross.
Yeah.
And then like just this past week, my girlfriend Brandy hit me with this like apparent fact that like bottles of tahini can have more than like I think at least 10 ground up bugs in it.
I can imagine.
And I'm just like, I ate a lot of fucking bugs. Like I've been eating tahini for fucking years. I was like, holy shit.
It's just, and that's all part of like how they make food. Like food is so like mass produced that it's like
you're not gonna catch everything.
Yeah,
you're not.
There's gonna be like bugs are gonna get places.
Yeah.
And like you can do your best to like keep them out.
Yeah.
But like that, imagine tahini is like they grind up like peppers and salt and whatever, and it's all built into like a big mix.
Yeah.
So you can tell me like a fly doesn't just fucking like
fucking
what's going on?
Fly.
Like he's in it too now. So so shit like that, and like when you think of like cans too, a lot of people clean the tops of the cans because it isn't a big like factory. There's probably rats around there that like pee on top of the cans and stuff.
Hell
there's things in like the food, but I think
for like real quick tip for any beverage you drink out of a can, clean the top of the can.
I never clean the top.
You
of the can.
need to like, dude, get a white napkin, and viewers get a white napkin, clean the top of your cans, whether it's Coke, beer, anything, and fucking look at the white napkin. That shit is the most disgusting.
The alcohol's gonna kill you.
Fucking oh my god, it was so gross when I first started doing that. I've only been doing that for like a year, but I do it every single time now. Every time.
But yeah, man, that's the shit like that. And then there's like documentaries, and like when you think about it, like what's gonna? I feel like we're getting into some real like conspiracy type like government whatever.
Let's do it.
But like you know what I mean? Like what's gonna bring you like clicks and views and whatever on your page if you're the one that's like, it's fucking this poison is like in the cereal.
Yeah.
Come look at the research I found. It's like, man, our shit's blowing up, and like. There's documentaries like Food Inc. and there was another one. I don't think it was Food Inc., but it's something else where like, there's this and they're putting like this in the food and chemicals and like that's all true. Like, the best thing is to eat more like natural foods.
Yeah,
but a lot of this shit is like not to the extreme that you think. You know, you think you watch that and you think like I'm gonna get cancer. Like everything's gonna give me cancer, but it's like.
Well, I think like one of the things, or like when it comes to food. Like, or when it comes to snacks, like consumption and all that, I definitely think that our generation was given so many like different candies or different like snacks you can just take, like Dunkaroos or fruit roll-ups. Like, there definitely has to be some sort of ingredient or chemical that wasn't used and like in mass produced like quantities of food. And I almost feel like our generation is gonna like start to see the side effects of
Oh,
that.
like that they
pretty
stop
soon.
using.
Yeah, like okay, maybe we shouldn't use like whatever the fuck we're putting.
And that's
in,
true. Like
yeah,
that is the thing. Like there will be shit where it's like, oh, asbestos and shit.
I'm waiting for that. Yeah, exactly.
We weren't supposed to be using that.
Yeah.
You know? Yeah.
Like back, oh, this lead paint goes on great. Like, why don't we use this always?
Yeah. So that's what I'm saying. Like it goes both ways. Where it's like it's easy to fall for like, oh, shit is like sensational or whatever, like journalism, you know what I mean? That's gonna like cause
most
a riot, but it's also not all things have your like best, interest in mind.
Yeah.
So I don't know what the point of like the end is, but just watch out for yourself, I guess. Either way, I just assume that like, fuck it, like I'm not gonna sit here and like not eat this shit.
Fruit roll-ups are dope.
Yeah, you know what I mean? Like
the one time I had Dunkaroos.
Where everything you eat is so mass produced, so
yeah,
it's like gonna get made in a way where it's like, oh, we don't have enough of that. Let's put chemicals in it instead.
Even the shit that says like organic, like it's not fully like it's not gonna be fully organic. It's just not.
And like even when there's like, oh, like I don't eat GMOs or it's so genetically modified. I'm like, everything you eat is already like like you can think like carrots didn't look like that back in the day. They did not look like fucking strawberries didn't look like that.
Here's the thing that I found. I didn't know it was like a seasoning, but you know that shit that like goes into Chinese food that's in like the malls, and it'll say, "Oh, we don't have
MSG."
No MSG. I didn't know MSG was a seasoning. It's a seasoning.
Yeah, I think. Isn't it like fucking like pure salt or something like that? Not pure salt,
but apparently it chemically interacts with your taste buds to give you a certain taste, like a new taste that you're not supposed to unlock. But like, and what I've learned is like MSG has been used in like Chinese dishes like for fucking years. I don't know about centuries, but like. A lot of years, like they've always used that.
Building the Great Wall of China.
Yeah,
we need some MSG.
Lick it. And so and then I think it was like in the 80s or 90s is when there was like MSG causes like there's a lot of shit wrong with the MSG. Like you're not supposed to be eating that. Blah blah blah. And so that's what caused a lot of like those like Chinese places to like we no MSG. But if you go to China, they'll still use that seasoning in their food, and like to call them out, Anthony Bourdain did a whole like thing of like, no, like I think he was quoted as saying like, it's not MSG that's like causing like fear of Chinese food, but it's like racism, like it's just like a fucking like made up like
the
bullshit
MSG?
Reason. Yeah, it's just like because apparently MSG was linked to like a lot of health issues and a lot of health risks.
Yeah.
But like even Anthony Bourdain was like, no, it's like it's fucking seasoning. It's not gonna do anything to you. Like it's not gonna kill you to fucking eat MSG. And I don't know. I thought I that kind of blew my mind. I found that out like 2 months ago. I think I saw like a documentary.
Yeah.
Or it was like a very
short. The MSG shit has been a thing for a long ass time.
Yeah, but I had no idea that it was a fucking seasoning. I thought it was like no MSG. Like I thought it was like fillers or something. I don't know what the fuck I thought. I didn't think it was a seasoning though.
I always just assumed it was some kind of like. I always thought it was like something that had like to do with like salt for some reason. Like I didn't think it was salt, but I thought it was like super bad for you. So it was like, why are you putting so much MSG? We don't put MSG in our food anymore, so it's healthy.
Yeah.
So like, and they're which like kind of like. As this idea I had that like we really have no idea like what we're doing like yet like in anything because it was like what like 10 years ago where they're like CFCs or whatever like in like aerosols and things like oops that shit is destroying the ozone. We didn't know that. Like you know what I mean like
well now I think even that has been disproven.
I
think so.
I don't know but I feel like that could also be something that's like the fucking climate change that's not a thing.
Yeah.
So like everything is so debatable, right? Well except that like but I mean whatever. So it's just shit like that we really don't know what we're like fucking with. Really, it's just like, we just do things and it's the way it's been until we find out that that shit that's killing everybody.
Yeah,
and it's like well
fuck.
shit, I never thought about that. It is. We're like way back when like people would use like silver and like not silver, fucking mercury for things, and it's like why is everybody getting poisoned and stuff? It's like fucking using mercury and the stuff like you get mercury poisoning, but you don't know that until like science fucking catches up.
Shit. We need to come up with a seasoning called NSG.
Not the special
goods. I don't know.
Goodies.
Not the special goodness.
Yeah.
Oh, shit. NSG? Is that a thing?
I don't know.
Fuck, we gotta look it up.
Yeah.
We gotta copyright that stat.
NSG.
NSG. But yeah, it's fucking that whole cereal debacle that happened this past week. I don't know if that's ever gonna, get legs to actually like cause these cereal companies to do something about it. But that sounded like a lot of PPMs to me when I first read that shit.
I'm like waiting for like I'm sure I'll get like a response from like Megan that's like, oh, that shit you said about strawberries and carrots, that's not true.
Yeah.
Like I feel like I'm kind of nervous about that now.
Yep.
I feel like we've dropped more like possibly fake facts than ever.
I was pretty excited to see that Captain Crunch was on the list because like it had been a while since I got Captain Crunch, but I literally just bought like a family fucking box of it, maybe like last week, and I've been like I haven't been eating it a lot, but in the morning or something before work, like I'll give me a little bowl of Captain Crunch. That shit is so good.
I've been eating a lot of cinnamon toast crunch lately.
I haven't had cinnamon toast crunch in a while.
Shit is good, but when you think about like Captain Crunch, it's like a lot of like blue and yellow and green pieces.
Oh,
in there.
hell yeah.
Like, what's making them that color? That's straight chemicals.
Yep.
Nah, I don't know.
No, I mean like
that's red 40 and yellow 5.
Fucking, how good is hot Cheetos for you? That's not good at all.
That red shit, that's pure like that's pepper.
Oh, that's red.
That's chili red. That's chili powder.
You red.
Yeah.
Oh shit, man.
God, everything's gonna kill us.
Yeah.
Here, Surge is coming back. I think.
Surge is coming back.
I think so. I don't know, but I feel like I saw something that was like Surge lovers.
Rejoice.
Yeah, but it's coming back to a certain restaurant. I think it was like, I don't know what restaurant it was.
They need to bring back Pepsi Blue. You never had Pepsi Blue?
Nah.
God, that shit was so good.
Well, you like Sprite Remix?
I love Sprite Remix. No, fuck that. I love Sprite Remix. Sprite Remix, Tropical Fusion. I think it was like berry something. Might have been berry fusion. And they had another one. I think it was like citrus something. And yeah, those Sprite remixes along with that Pepsi Blue, that was my shit, man.
Can you bring back that Pepsi Clear?
They did.
Oh, they did?
Yeah.
I feel like we had the conversation before.
Clear Pepsi. Yeah. There was a 7-Up Gold at one point.
Ooh.
Yeah, that sounds gross.
It had little flakes of gold in it?
No, it was just like, it just poured like yellow. It was weird.
Yeah.
It looked like a watered down Coke.
Looked like pee.
Yeah, it looked like pee. Fucking A. How do you make, I don't know. I was gonna say, how do you make Pepsi clear?
Yeah. Well, the thing is, like, I don't think it's supposed to be like brown. Like, I think those it's like, I think that's the thing. Like, it's like, why is it brown?
Yeah.
Or why are like sodas like Sprite is clear?
Apparently, if you drink an old Pepsi clear Pepsi, it's almost like Ipecac, and it just makes you fucking vomit. Because like, and I only say that because like I saw Ellie Beast do it on YouTube, and I feel like there's been like he's already done that shit like I think 3 times.
Mm-hmm.
Every time he fucking pukes his entire guts out. It's insane.
Mm-hmm. I'm sure that guy could just like do that on command by now.
Probably so.
Just I want to
shout out to LA Beast. I fucking love that guy.
I don't know about shout out.
Shout out.
I see some of this shit, and I'm just like,
fucking
take care
hilarious.
Of yourself, man.
Fucking hilarious. I love that guy. But someone else we love very much, and we wanted to dedicate this episode to.
When you want to talk about that one last thing?
What was the one last thing? Oh shit! I didn't even see that.
It's like the jump ahead.
Oh fuck! Speaking of conspiracy theories, no.
This one is a pretty clear cut to me.
This is not conspiracy or theory. This is just a fact.
Just continuing on the people doing things that they probably shouldn't be doing.
Yeah, people just fucking up left and right. I feel like that's been the theme of this episode so far. 2 weeks ago now, we forgot to talk about this in the last episode.
Yeah. It was like kind of breaking the day, like we were.
Yeah, we really wanted to talk about it, but then we decided to just let's kind of wait this out. Let's see how this plays out. But a couple weeks ago, IGN posted a review of Dead Cells. Dead Cells is a game that released on Switch, and was that it?
I think it's on other things, but
yeah, I think it's on like a lot of platforms. But it's a very good game. It's an independent game. People are loving it. The reviews have been really, really high. The Metacritics, and people rating themselves have been really high. And so IGN, the biggest like video game review publisher, like probably of all time, they came out with their review. and it was a video review as well as like an actual article, and it was written by their Nintendo editor, Philip Mewson. Philip Mewson, he hosted their Nintendo podcast, and he did a lot of like Nintendo shit
He's like
for
that
IGN.
shit.
Yeah,
The
for
Nintendo
IGN.
voice chat.
Yeah, exactly. And so he posted his review, and he gave it like a raving, review. He said it was really good, this and that. And then I want to say a day later or 2 days later, another guy that goes, the name of his YouTube channel goes by Boomstick Gaming.
Oh, yeah.
He posted on Reddit, and he was just like, "Hey, IGN stole my review for Dead Cells. What do I do?"
Yeah.
And people thought that he was just kind of like bullshitting, but then they looked into, or like they saw the comparison between his video and Philip Mewson's video, and it was fucking spot on.
Mhm.
Like Philip Mewson would give the same points of like criticism and like and just like praising the game around the same time as like Boomstick Gaming's video would do.
Yeah.
And he would say it was like classic fucking plagiarism shit to where
Classic
like
shit I would do in like high school.
Yeah, it was oh my god. It was like I think of like how I used to write book reports, and I was really on that shit of like I haven't read any fucking I haven't read an inch of this book or like an ounce of this book, so I'm just gonna like get this quick notes, this spark notes real quick. And so like if I saw something that said so and so was born in 1908, I'd be like, 1908 was the year that so and so was born. It was very much cut and clear like plagiarism happening in this nationally like fucking publicated review for this game by this really highly credited fucking gaming website. And it turns out that he fucking ripped this guy off. He ripped off a small YouTuber review.
Boomstick Gaming.
Yeah, from a Boomstick Gaming. He ripped off his review for this game, and it turned into this whole story of like IGN hasn't said anything. They didn't make a statement like for like the next day, and then they finally did, and they're like, okay, we parted ways with Philip Mewson. They fired him, and Kotaku was the one that broke the story.
Yeah, I guess so, right? Yeah, I mean, everybody was getting like it was getting traction on Reddit.
Yeah,
but Kotaku was the ones that were like. Originally, they were like IGN. Yeah, this guy named Jason Schreier.
Yeah,
he was. He posted a thing that says like IGN pulls review.
Yeah,
for Dead Cells.
Yeah,
because of like accusations of plagiarism. And at the time, they were looking into it. And that's what I think when we were last recording, that was like where it was at.
Yeah,
they were looking into it and they pulled it down.
Yeah,
and so then it goes on. Like I think a couple days later, they fired him.
Yeah,
and like that's when like they started posting the things where it was like you were saying that where like the year was it was exactly like that. Like if they said like it's like if he had said like the game is fun and
has a very Metroidvania feel to it.
Yeah, and he would have been like the game is entertaining and it has a Metroid and Castlevania feel to it.
And it was so cut and clear.
Like the sentences were in the same order.
Yeah,
but it's like you would just change little words that like instead of saying fun, I'm saying entertaining. And stuff like that. So it was very obvious.
Yeah, I fuck, dude. That's such a. I don't know. It was a crazy kind of story to follow because again, IGN. For those of you that aren't into gaming, video games in general, IGN is like the biggest reviewer site, for video games, like right now, and they've been for years. You got other competing sites like GameSpot and all that other stuff, but. IGN is like the go-to place for a lot of people. And IGN has already been met with like criticisms from people saying that like they get paid to do a lot of their reviews. And this incident now with Philip Mewson, that shit does not help their reputation whatsoever.
I feel like they'd already been going through like some weird kind of I don't know.
Yeah.
So I started listening to like their podcasts like in the last year. I listened to the PlayStation one.
Yeah.
I listened to the Nintendo one. And I feel like it's felt like a lot of like of the people that are in that are like kind of disappearing and getting moved around, and
they're kind of breaking off to start their own kind of thing.
Yeah, and they're like leaving, and then suddenly there's like one guy's like, "Hey, I know y'all haven't heard of him in the past couple episodes, but so and so, the guy Marty Sleva or whatever, I don't know what happened. I'm not gonna like act like I know, but it was like he's parted ways with IGN." But we want to thank everybody who's like filled the seats here.
Yeah.
They didn't say thanks to him, so it's like gives the vibe that he left on kind of bad terms.
Yeah, yeah.
And then now this guy does this, and so what happened? Like, so after they fired him, and Jason Schreier, the guy from Kotaku, he wrote and he was like, he put the examples, and he's like, somebody else has found that on a FIFA 18 review,
FIFA 18 review that Philip did
before he worked at IGN, copied from the Nintendo
Life.
Yeah, and they showed it again. It was word for word.
Yeah,
and the guy Philip Mewson had said like any kind of like similarities was like unintentional.
He posted a video.
Yeah,
he posted a video response on his YouTube channel because that's where he came from. Apparently, he was a YouTuber. And that's where he did most of his like work. And then when he applied for IGN, they referenced his YouTube. So he was a YouTuber before he did IGN. And so after he was fired or let go from IGN for this incident, then he goes back to his YouTube channel and releases a statement video. And it was such a fucking half-ass video. Did you watch it?
I never saw it. I just got the transcript.
It was such a half-ass video because like he definitely he apologized to IGN because he was like, my actions, what I'm criticized for shouldn't be held against IGN because they, they're their own sort of entity. Like it's not like they told me like to do any of this stuff. But he didn't. He was still like defending himself, saying that he didn't plagiarize anything. He didn't really apologize to Boomstick Gaming like at all. And then at the end, that's when he like challenged. Started criticizing Kotaku, and challenged, and called out Jason Schreier, who was the guy that broke the story first, and telling him like, go ahead and do your best to try like to find other like incidents of like me plagiarizing, other people's work, and that's exactly what the fuck that dude did. Like he called out that guy, so Jason Schreier did his work and found multiple like occasions of this guy doing it.
And I listened to like the Kotaku podcast too, so. Yeah. He's been like saying it. Well, like they originally talked about the original like incident.
Yeah.
Then they were like, so I don't know if you heard the guy like Philip Mewson. I've been trying to get in contact. He's been trying to get in contact with him.
Yeah.
Because he's like, I'd love to have him on the show. I'd love to like interview him, get his opinion like why he did what he did.
He's not doing any interviews.
No, but the guy, he's gonna say it's unintentional. Yeah. I didn't do it on purpose.
Yeah.
But then he was like, like you say, he was like, go ahead, try find something else. And then like another article comes out where they like Jason Schreier writes like IGN has pulled all reviews from Philip Mewson off the site, and they say there's been like dozens of like reviews that are like he's copying, like every single one he's copying. Yeah. Until like they even like this is where I feel like Jason Schreier went into that like you want to come at me, I'm gonna go so far to say that like they like pulled up his like LinkedIn like resume. And like a template, that they found online that it's like word for word.
Yes.
And I'm just like, dang, you didn't have to do him like that. Like you didn't have to bring up his resume.
Yeah, he fucking pushed your his ass, man. Yeah. Like big time.
They found everything.
And but in Philip Mewson's response video, the half-assed one that I was talking about earlier, like he admits to like as a reviewer, somebody that this is as a professional, like where somebody like. Where my job is reviewing stuff, like I reference other people's like reviews, like I'll watch something or I'll read something. And just before we started the show, I even told you like me, where I don't review shit for a living, like I don't watch movie reviews until I see a movie myself. And I stopped doing that because I used to do that a lot, but then I found that like the reviews that I saw were hindering sort of my views while watching the film.
So they would tell you like this part is weak. And when you get there, you're like, that shit is weak.
Yeah, that's mad weak.
Yeah.
So like I realized I was doing that, and so I stopped doing it, and I haven't done it now for a couple of years. So what I do is like I watch a movie and then I watch like other reviews to kind of see how how they feel compared to what I felt watching whatever film it is, and so the fact that I was able to kind of like realize that. I think that's such a bullshit kind of thing where it's like you review shit for a living. Why are you watching other people's shit before you
write your review?
Yeah, before you do the work yourself, And then it's like, it does that mean that like you didn't really play like Dead Cells? Because like I feel like as a game reviewer, that'd probably be the best part of the job, like playing the fucking game. Like I don't understand why you weren't able to kind of formulate your own thoughts on that.
My thing is like I feel like the like denials is like I feel like if I was him, I would have just from the jump been like, look, even I feel like I get that like when you do like those guys work a ton, like they have to review and review and review. So a lot of times they get games that's like pretty long games.
Yeah,
and it's like, all right, we give you the early access to this game. The developers be like, here's your code to play the game for free.
Yeah.
the game comes out in like a week. So like games that might take you 60, 70, and when they review them, they really get into them.
Yeah, they
to where
do.
they're like, all right, I played like 80 hours of it. And that's like 80 hours in the week. You also have to go to work.
Yeah.
Play this game for 80 hours, write the review, have it ready to go.
And I looked up because we had talked about this, like I said, like last week, and I told you, I'm sure that these companies let them play games like at work because that's their job. I've looked up.
Do, yeah.
No,
they don't.
I looked up.
They always make it seem like they do. Where they're like, we play Mario Kart and like,
well, like that, but they
probably
like,
stay at work for like 12 hours or something like that.
And so like a lot of publications like that, they don't. And while they're at the job, they need to be like researching and like writing and all that.
I
stuff.
think because they not only do reviews, and like at Kotaku too, they do some reviews at Kotaku. They do reviews, but I feel like Kotaku's got more of an emphasis, what seems to me like on like journalism in like the gaming industry.
Yep.
Whereas I think IGN probably does that too, but they're more like, we're playing all the games and reviewing them. But so I guess they might be doing that shit. So like if you think about it, like you're working, you're reviewing the games, you're playing them, and you have to do. Some of these guys do their podcasts, and like I feel like if he just come out and said like, look, the pressure like got to me. I was under a lot of stress, a lot of deadlines, and I did something that I am truly sorry for.
Just fucking own it.
I felt like the world was like fucking weighing down on me, and I crumbled, and I just did this to get my work done.
Yeah,
I apologize, whatever, to everybody, and just walk away from it.
Yeah,
but I feel like he's been very adamant, like I didn't do shit.
Yeah, I didn't do anything. It's like, nah, man, like you really did. You really, the proof is there. Like fucking word for word in some cases. Like it's just, it's not like we're making shit up, and but yeah, if he just, I 100% agree with you. If he just would have came out, said something along those lines, sort of owned up to what he did, he'd have a lot more respect from like a lot more people. Now, like a lot of people are kind of like, nope, like fucking Philip Houston just like ruined his like fucking career when it comes to this shit.
Yeah, man. So probably won't see anything from him. I guess he could have his YouTube channel if he wants.
No, like he hasn't posted. He took the response down. Like he took the YouTube video down. So I mean, I don't know what he has next. Not like his life is ruined.
I want him to come on the Kotaku podcast.
Yeah, I really want to see. Yeah, I really want to see that response. But whatever. That was that was like the biggest like gaming news pretty much that we wanted to touch upon.
And people have been talking about it like I haven't seen anything like this in like the 10 years I've been writing. Whatever. Yeah. It's crazy. I think he hadn't even been there that long.
No, he hadn't. I don't think so.
And what's sad is every time I try to look up his Twitter, the last thing he posted was like, check out my Dead Cells review.
Check out Dead
and I'm
Cells.
Just like, oh,
it's fantastic.
Yeah. I'm just like, ooh.
That's exactly what I do now. It's like I look up people's Twitters when they're going through that shit.
And I'm like, what are they saying? And it's just like, like, let me see what was happening a couple hours before.
Yep.
Check out my new review. It's great.
So many people were like commenting like, man, Philip, can't wait to see your Dead Cells reviews, this and that. He's like, oh, it's coming, man. This game is great. So it's like, fuck, what are you doing?
Yeah.
And the fact that it was a small YouTube channel as well, it's like you took something thinking nobody would catch you.
Yeah.
Like, god damn, that's so shitty. Like such a douchebag.
But then I feel like that one Nintendo Life thing like isn't that small, right?
I don't think so. But like that was a written review. Like I don't know. Like this Dead Cells was his first video.
Oh, the first video one. He copied another video review.
Yeah, exactly. And I'm just like, what the hell are you doing? It's such a scumbag thing. I don't know. I'm just saying.
Especially when it comes to like writing and like journalism shit. I feel like that's like the cardinal sin is just like, plagiarize.
Yeah, go ahead.
Damn.
Yep.
And I listened to like the next episode. You're like, best believe I tuned into the next episode of that Nintendo podcast, and I feel like they kicked out. They're like, just as always, we post the live episode first. And it's a different guy hosting it, and I guess just a couple things we got to talk about. Philip Houston and IGN have parted ways. If you want to read more about that, check out our IGN and Twitter. Anyways, moving on, and I'm just
wow. Damn, what do you do?
It's not like IGN is gonna like broadcast like, we all heard that the guy that used to host this show plagiarized all his reviews, so yeah.
Fuck.
I feel like at one point I thought they were like making like a call like to make fun of it, but I forgot what they said.
Oh shit. I mean, I don't know. IGN keep doing their thing, I guess. I follow GameSpot more.
I feel like GameSpot always, I don't know much about GameSpot, but it always felt like a shittier version of IGN.
Like a smaller version, but
shittier.
Fuck.
No, I really don't know. I just never read it because
I feel like I'll follow their reviews more than I do IGN.
Well, IGN always gives me the sense of like they like to review shit really high for some reason.
Yeah.
Where like every game is like, oh, that game 8.2, and it's like, damn, like, there's no way it's that good.
Yeah, it's crazy.
Journey 10.0, and it's like, Journey sucked.
GameSpot, and I like RTX's like input in it too. So I don't know, or Rooster Teeth, not RTX. That's their expo. But anyways,
now we can get to like the big finale.
There you go. Go ahead.
Oh, yeah, me do. All right, so like, so it's not written here, but you know, we there's tragic news this week or a couple days ago that Aretha Franklin, Queen of Soul, had passed away. So we're gonna dedicate this episode to her. You know, we're gonna say about her. Fantastic singer. Yeah. Obviously,
like an icon, legendary voice. I mean, legendary performer, and she really paved the way, I think, for a lot of future artists. Yeah, like most definitely
future artists, and did a lot of like paved the way a lot for black artists, female artists.
Yep.
And that's like obviously two minorities that have had their struggles. So a wonderful artist that I guess has left us, and
yeah, big shout out to her, definitely. And then like when you it's one of those things too where like the news broke that she passed, and then of course, I do what everyone does at that point, especially when it's a music artist, like look them up.
Yeah.
And it's not like I didn't know that she sang like these songs, but once I listened back to them, fuck, man, there's good ass
incredible
music, dude. Yeah. And it's like,
if I don't know if it's like now that like they're gone, like I feel like she's singing her ass off, or you just take it for granted, maybe.
Yes, exactly.
And like, we are like way past, her big like when she was like hitting, like just coming out, it was like hits, and that was like in the 60s, I believe.
Yeah,
maybe earlier than that, 60s, I think.
Yeah.
And that was a time when it was like that civil rights shit was coming to a head, and like that's what I mean when it's like that was a time that like that shit hit, that was like important. And when I think of her too, like I think like not that like artists today don't have talent, like I'm not gonna be the kind of person that's like artists today are like whatever. Yeah. But when I think of like Aretha Franklin and the people back then, it always felt like they were the ones like busting their asses, like performing like day in, day out. Most like
definitely
up there on stage just fucking working their asses off to a point that's like this is like a fucking gift, and like they're like up there, fucking it's just talent that's not like
in many ways it's just like it just feels like they were really paving the road like for for future people. And then like when you talk about Aretha Franklin, I mean she was there, like she fucking did it, man. And then I was thinking about like that song Respect. I always used to call it like R-E-S-P-E-C-T.
Yeah, I asked you.
I said in another episode
who I was talking about. I think it's Keontae. I was like, I always never know how to say it.
Yeah, well, like Respect, I feel like that fucking song was on every trailer for every movie in like the 90s. Like this shit was everywhere. It was crazy.
Yeah, and like we were talking right before, to the point that like those songs feel like they lose their meaning, or like, oh, there's that like corny song they put in whatever.
Yeah.
But then when you hear these songs in their own, you really realize like these are fucking phenomenal songs, and you take them into the context of the time.
Yeah.
But anyways, so we say rest in peace to Aretha Franklin.
Yep. It's a phenomenal artist, and I know she definitely like I said, she definitely was an inspiration for a lot of people, music artists or not. So rest in peace, and shout out to her and her family. So
they even throw one random shout out to South like
no, shout out to
her and her family.
Oh yeah, real quick though, did you see what happened with Fox News, and they were talking about that?
No.
So like they were like, oh, we want to pay respects to Aretha Franklin, and they were doing like a little slideshow of her and stuff like that, and and instead of a picture of Aretha Franklin, they actually posted a picture of Patti LaBelle.
I feel like I had heard the joke went around. I didn't know what it was from.
It was fucking Patti LaBelle, and they definitely got called out on that shit. And then they were like, "Oh no, like, we apologize for that hiccup. We did a research. We did a Google search for Aretha Franklin, and a picture of Patti LaBelle came up because, as everybody knows, like they had like this like feud going on for a while, and then so people like did their research on that claim, and they found the exact article that they're talking about, but like at no point, and they're like, this photo is actually taken from an event where Aretha Franklin was on stage with Patti LaBelle, and like that's why this, and like if you look at the whole picture, Aretha Franklin's on the left, but like our graphic was covering her up, so you just saw Patti LaBelle. But then people like found the actual article and like Aretha Franklin's nowhere to be fucking found. It's literally just a picture of fucking Patti LaBelle. It's like, the fuck, Fox News? What the fuck are you doing?
Yeah.
So, God.
People, I feel like we need to finish, but like just to the point that like I don't know why people think they can get away with shit
I don't
these
know.
days in like the times of the internet, because
the internet fucking will find out everything there is to know about anything.
Yeah,
it's insane.
All right. Well, anyways,
and with that
episode of Aretha Franklin, rest in peace.
Definitely. But with that, I think we're gonna call it. Episode 46 is in the bag. So yeah, everybody, thank you so much for listening. Thank you so much for watching us on YouTube, Not the Special Network. Please keep it locked there, and thank you for subscribing. If you haven't already, leave a comment, leave a like on our YouTube, but also leave us a review on iTunes, and continue to support us that way. And you can follow us on Instagram, on Facebook, and on Twitter. Instagram and Facebook, Another Special Podcast. On Twitter, completely forgot, but you can find us on there. You can find us on there too by just searching our name. You'll be able to see us.
Fine.
Yeah, definitely. And as always, we'll catch you guys next time. And again, thanks for tuning in.
All right, thank you. Peace.
We do the talk thing.
The talk thing, like where we just like, just like, so you know, I leave that little.
Oh yeah.